This is Denali, North America's tallest peak. For thousands of years, it's been a symbol of strength, story, and identity. But it's also been called something else, Mount McKinley. That name, too, carries a story, one of politics, power, and cultural wiping. Meanwhile, climbers are here chasing glory, battling storms, and sometimes losing their lives. In this film, we explore Denali National Park and Preserve as a whole, its land, its people, its debates, and two intertwined narratives: the fight over the mountain's name and the dangerous human drive to climb it.
Denali National Park and Preserve spans more than 6 million acres, larger than the state of New Hampshire, and is the third largest park in the U.S. From boreal forests at its entrance to alpine tundra and active glaciers in the Alaska Range, Denali is a landscape of extremes. Established in 1917, 3 years before the creation of the National Park Service itself, Denali National Park's original purpose was to protect wildlife, especially Dall sheep, from overhunting. Over time, its mission expanded, aligning with the NPS Organic Act to preserve unimpaired natural and cultural resources for future generations. Unlike many parks, Denali has just one road that boasts 92 miles long. Beyond mile 15, private vehicles are restricted. Visitors travel by bus to reach the park's interior, maintaining its wilderness character while still allowing access. In 2019, more than 600,000 visitors came to visit the park. Today, visitation is rebounding back to 600,000 after its pandemic low eras. Visitors hike, watch wildlife, bike, camp, and join ranger-led programs. As noted, parks like Denali are powerful places of informal learning where curiosity drives discovery. Falk and Dickering remind us that free choice learning in such landscapes is transformative and shaped by personal, socio-cultural, and physical contexts. Long before any maps were drawn, the Koyukon Athabascan people called the mountain Denali, the High One. For indigenous communities, names are stories. Remember, true interpretation reveals meaning and relationships, not just facts. Restoring the name Denali is about restoring a relationship that predates the U.S. by millennia. In 1896, a gold prospector unofficially named the peak for William McKinley, a politician who had never set foot in Alaska. In 1917, Congress promoted that colonial name and established as Mount McKinley National Park. In 1975, Alaska petitioned to restore the name Denali, but for decades, political resistance from congressional delegations blocked it. In 2015, the Secretary of the Interior restored the name Denali at the federal level, aligning with state usage and indigenous heritage. As Ken Burns shows, parks are never neutral. They're stages for national identity, politics, and memory. Here is an interview with Senator Murkowski in 2015, just after the Obama administration renamed Mount McKinley to Denali.
Known this majestic mountain as the Great One. Today, we're honored to be able to officially recognize the mountain as Denali. I'd like to thank the President for working with us to achieve this significant change to show honor, respect, and gratitude to the Athabascan people of Alaska.
Most recently, just this year, a presidential executive order sought to revert the name to Mount McKinley. Alaskans across political lines opposed the move. SLAC emphasizes the heritage interpretation must confront contested histories. This naming dispute isn't just about labels, it's about power, memory, and cultural recognition. While political battles unfold, another struggle plays out on Denali's slopes. Denali has the largest base to peak climb in the world at 18,310 vertical feet. For context, climbers on Mount Everest need to climb around 2.5 vertical miles. On Denali, the vertical climb is over 3.5 miles. For each season, climbers attempt to summit this 20,310-foot giant. Some succeed, some never return. Here's Olympic track runner Nick Simmons explaining briefly some of the challenges of climbing Denali just before his expedition to climb the mountain.
That airplane just dropped me deep in the Alaskan backcountry on this glacier in the middle of nowhere, and it's not coming back to pick me up for 3 weeks. So for the next 21 days, I have to survive with only what I have in this backpack and that sled. Fortunately, I did pack some surprises that you're gonna wanna see. And to make this even more difficult, let's climb the tallest mountain in Alaska, the tallest mountain in America, yes, the tallest mountain in North America. I'm talking about Denali, formerly known as Mount McKinley. At 20,310 feet tall, Denali truly is the Great One. The vertical distance from base camp to summit is bigger on Denali than it is on Everest. And many people who have climbed both mountains say that Denali is the greater challenge. There are no porters to help you out on Denali. Instead, you must carry all of your own gear. And you're carrying that gear across dangerous glaciers and up a mountain that has notoriously unpredictable weather. Frostbite, crevasse falls, and even death are common on this mountain.
Denali's subarctic storms, sudden weather changes, and glacial hazards make it one of the world's most dangerous climbs. Studies show roughly 3 fatalities per 1,000 summit attempts. Nearly half result from falls during the climb up the mountain. Approximately 40 bodies remain on the mountain unrecovered. The National Park Service manages this delicate balance between challenge and safety. Rangers conduct rescues in severe conditions, weighing risk, cost, and ethics. The park's ecosystems, its cultural heritage, its political debates, and the human risks on its slopes reveal how people interact with this place in profoundly different ways. Some fight over names, others face storms, but are all responding to the same landscape of Denali National Park. Ken Burns highlights the national park's idea balances preservation and access. Tilden also emphasizes that effective interpretation provokes and not just instructs. Therefore, Denali allows us to consider who names, climbs, and who belongs as the park. The heritage interpretation at Denali National Park requires us to think about the indigenous political and recreational perspectives. I visited the park when I was 9 years old and had the privilege of visiting the pristine park with my family. We entered by bus on an 8-hour tour with a trained naturalist. I remember seeing animals, wolves, grizzly bears, foxes, hawks, and bald eagles, just to name a few. Unfortunately, the day we were at the park, we could not see the peak at Mount McKinley due to fog. Denali is more than just a national park. It's a living landscape where cultural crossroads and stories collide. Whether through naming debates or climbing challenges, people project their values onto this place. But Denali reminds us that some stories are older and larger than any of us.